Ever wanted to know what it's like to sail a floating island around like it's a ship? Well, wonder no longer. I'm the Duro94, and today we're going to take a look at an upcoming game called Aloft by Astrolabe Interactive, which is a survival game set in a world of floating islands endlessly caught in a giant tornado. Aloft is scheduled for launch in 2024, but I was lucky to be chosen to try out the demo and share my thoughts on what they have so far. And I'm going to be honest, I do like what I see. So let's delve into my experience, shall we? What the fuck? Is that a floating turd? To start things off, we wake up on an island where we had to work out how to build some starting tools. You know, your basics like your axe and your pickaxe and your hammer stuff. There wasn't a great deal of guidance here, so it took a little bit to try and work it out, but having played survival games in the past, I was able to work this out. You know, stick plus rock equals axe, right? I do like the recipe discovery aspect of the game. When you find a new ingredient that's a part of a recipe you haven't discovered yet, it marks it with a yellow dot. You can then add these together in the recipe section to learn a new recipe. You can then head to the crafting menu to create the recipe, which makes finding new materials fun. Note to self, don't have the word recipe too many times in one sentence. I figured this would be a great time to test out the building mechanics and started to build my first house. I really did enjoy the building mechanics and they were simple and easy to work out. You can either turn snapping on or off, which gives you a lot of creative control, but also ensures that your initial designs were square and in line. Another great function is that you can build the frames of each part of the building without needing the full materials, allowing you to set up the frames of your house to get an idea of the layout before you commit all your resources to it. Overall, the building was quite simple and easy to do, and it took me about 15 minutes to build this weird double-story house. However, I did run into one problem, and I don't know if it's just me and I'm being dumb, but I couldn't work out how to delete anything. So I was left with a second floor that I had to duck to get into. My workbench was an OH&S hazard at my front door, certainly not safe for any small family. I mean, as if floating islands wasn't dangerous enough. And this monstrosity of a staircase, which was literally does nothing, and I was stuck with it and I couldn't do anything with it. While I was exploring my island, I discovered the blueprint for a sawmill which has a cool little minigame that allows me to build a plank of wood. These planks can be used to create some pretty unique custom things, which opens a huge potential for some creative people out there to do some really cool stuff. This was clearly not me. Overall, I did enjoy the building. It's not too hard and gathering materials is quick and easy, which is quite refreshing after playing some games that take a very long time to build. So now that my first home was done, it's time to start discovering some more recipes, and that's when we discovered the glider. And this is what the game is all about. The fresh air, the open breeze in my head. Oh, hang on. Open breeze gliding over my aerodynamically shaved head. It was a dream. And I felt so free until I spied this island. What is that? On this island, there were strange fungus monsters. And after chopping up some of the mushrooms with my axe, we cleared the island and freed it from the fungi. I then found this rock which unlocked the helm. And you know, this is when things start getting real serious. I got the materials ready and strived to build my helm at the very top of my island, because why wouldn't I sail the biggest island? But unfortunately, the game wouldn't let me. The island was too big. So I settled for my clearly new island. Here we go. We're just about to embark on our first... Oh wait, I'm not moving. Well, it turns out you need sails first, so I flew off in search of some new blueprints. On the next big island, we found the recipe for a rudder, so I went back to my little island and did what all humans are good at and cleared all the trees, and then built my rudders. Now that we have the rudders, we finally have control of the islands, but it's still not enough to actually make it sail. So what do we need to make it sail? Oh, sails. That's when I spied my next fungus island. After arriving and decimating locals, we found a recipe for windmills. Now, windmills have got to be one of the coolest features in any survival game I've played like this. Windmills allow you to automate things. So I built this windmill on my monstrosity of a house and connected it to my sawmill, which allows the sawmill to automatically turn wood into planks over time. So freaking smart. Now that we had the windmill set up, it was time to head out again and try and find the sail blueprint, so we could finally sail this island and be king of the pirates. Oh wait, no, that's a different show. On the next island, we found the leaf floater sail and some corn. And we quickly jumped over to this other island where we finally found our sail blueprint. Now that we had finally set up our sails, our rudders, and our floating sails, it was finally time to embark on this epic journey. There is something absolutely epic about flying a giant rock around. I don't know what it was, but it just felt awesome. The devs have done a very good job at making the island sailing experience feel as real as it could be. I mean, considering that you're sailing a giant floating rock, you need to pay attention to the weight of your island, including everything you have on it, and making sure that you have equivalent lift in order to go up. You can also customize the size and number of sails and type of sails you have to adjust your speed and your handling of your island. Overall, the island sailing experience is just how you would imagine it, and I am absolutely here for it. After almost crashing my island, now that's a weird thing to say out loud, we finally got the hang of it and explored several more islands, killing fungus and discovering blueprints along the way. I even started building a second base on my new floating island. And that was when we discovered the map table, where I learnt just how big this game was really going to be. Unfortunately, we had reached the end of our demo, but I was not ready to hang up my imaginary captain's hat yet. My eyes were set on being king of the world, and it was time to sail into the eye of the storm. Surprisingly, the game let me sail all the way there, which took me quite a while. There's quite a lot of game here. However, I was slightly disappointed that when I did arrive there wasn't really anything to discover. But remember, this is only the demo of the game, and it's not complete yet, and I'm not entirely sure if I was even meant to be able to make it to the center of the tornado, so we'll forgive them for that. But what I've seen in this game so far, I am very impressed with what they've got, and I'm keen to see what's going to be coming. The flying feels great, and the island sailing feels so natural and real despite the fact that you're sailing a floating island around. Aloft is multiplayer with the ability to explore with up to 8 friends. However, there are a couple things that I would love to see in this game, and one of them is PvP. Now, I'm not usually the type that enjoys PvP survival game. Could you imagine flying around a floating island ship battle with cannons and stuff? That would be absolutely epic. The other thing I thought that could use some improvement is the PvE. The fungus enemies don't pose too much of a threat, and I was able to breeze through their islands quite easily. That being said, I only saw 2 types of mushrooms, and there could be potentially many more for difficult gameplay. But overall, I do see the need for more difficulty. And this includes survival elements as well. There is food in the game for stamina and health and stuff, but I didn't feel the need to eat. And even if I did run out of stamina mid-fly, I would be able to make it to my base anyway because you basically have unlimited stamina. You just couldn't boost anymore. So I do see the need of some kind of punishment for running out of stamina, and it makes you dependent on your island that you're floating around. Otherwise, you can just fly around quite quickly without your island. So let me know what your thoughts of the game are in the comments, and if you're interested in Aloft, go and check it out on Steam and add it to your wish list. Thank you for watching this video. I'm the Duran94, and I'll catch you next time.